All right, cool. You guys ready? All right. Hello. We are going to do a little flow today with some movement, but mainly focus on breath practices. And in yoga, we call our breath practices pranayama. Prana is life force and yama is control. So we're controlling our life force. We're going to try and get through 6 today. These guys are going to help me. Hopefully I get through all 6. We'll do some movement, but again, focusing a lot on the breath. And these breath practices, pranayama, are what really differentiates yoga from all other kinds of exercise or movement, links our body and mind. And the reason we have different types of breath exercises or practices is to cultivate different things in our body. So some are more relaxing or balancing, some build heat, and I'll explain all of those and their benefits as we get into them. Ready? Cool. Start laying on your backs. So get as comfortable as you like. These guys have 2 blocks. If you'd like, you can bring blocks underneath your thighs for a little bit of support. It's kind of a nice release for your low back, but you certainly don't have to. And then place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. So we're just going to start by noticing our natural breath pattern. How deep and shallow your inhales or your exhales are. And which hand moves and how it moves as you inhale and you exhale. You might find that your inhale lasts a little bit longer than your exhale or vice versa. Depending on how you're feeling today, what's happening in your body. And if it's comfortable for you, see if you can lengthen your inhales and your exhales so they're the same length and they're a little bit longer than a natural breath would be. And the first breath we'll get into is a wave breath. This breath is really great to check in with your breath, to begin to lengthen inhales and exhales, even them out, and to direct your breath into certain parts of your body, creating a more full, richer breathing experience. So as you inhale, see if you can inhale into your belly, lift your bottom hand, expand through your ribs, your back, your sides, and then into your chest, lift your top hand. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, release first through the top of your chest, then your middle, your sides, and then your belly. And feel free to go at your own pace. So inhaling like a wave into your belly, middle, and chest. Exhaling chest, middle, and belly. Just a few times like that. Many people find a wave breath to be really calming. And they say that babies breathe deep into their belly. So this is a very natural kind of home state for our breathing. And already just doing this for a few minutes, you can kind of feel that energy in the room become a little bit more calm. Even by just tuning into your breath, you can find some of those benefits of increased relaxation, awareness. And you can practice these for as long or as little time as you like. Usually when you're starting, doing a short little mini practice to try it out, and then gradually increasing the length of time that you practice pranayama. Do one more round, in and out. And come back to a natural breath, whatever that's like for you, in and out of your nose, your mouth. Notice now how you feel physically and mentally. Gently blink your eyes open. Reach your arms over your head. Get as long as you can. Big stretch. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Sometimes deep breathing makes you cough, so totally okay. Let it come out. And draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock a little side to side. You can place your hands on your kneecaps and make some circles in the sky to massage your low back. And rock and roll forward and back. If you have those blocks in the ground, you might scoot them out of the way. Find yourself to a comfortable seated position. That could be cross-legged, that could be on a block or on your feet in kind of a hero's pose. And then sit up really tall when you get there. So the next breath we're going to do is Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. And this is often called our breath of yoga. It's a loud, strong breath. It sounds like the ocean. And it's a warming breath. So as we start to move, this is a nice breath to build some heat within your body. So bring your hand in front of your mouth, like you're saying ha 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 ha. And then make that ha sound like you're fogging up a mirror, or you're trying to clean your sunglasses. Do that a couple times. You feel that heat, right, on your hand? That's the idea of Ujjayi breath. We're constricting a little bit in the back of our throat to build some heat. So imagine making that same sound but with your lips closed. Breathe in and out of your nose. You can release your hand. Again, let your inhales and your exhales be long. Notice how you start to feel as you cultivate this breath. Oftentimes in a movement-based class, a Vinyasa class, a Hatha class, we practice an Ujjayi breath the entire time. Today I'm going to invite you guys to find it whenever we're not doing another breath or whenever it just feels right for you. Gently find your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Feel free to adjust on your mat. And continue with your Ujjayi breath as you move through natural movements, cow and cat or side to side, some circles. Starting to link movement to breath, creating that moving meditation, but focusing primarily on your breath to notice what your body needs and where your mind is going. When you start to practice yoga, sometimes this breath again is really short, and then eventually you can lengthen and take really long, slow inhales, really long, slow exhales. We'll do one more round of breath in our tabletop, whatever movements you're taking. And gently find your way to a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and lift your hips to the sky. Stay with that strong breath if it feels right for you. If not, feel free to do any comfortable breath. And move around a little bit, pedal out, sway side to side. Let your head relax. Nice. We're going to build on a little bit. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Exhale, step your feet up toward the top of your mat. Halfway lift, chest forward, long spine, breathe in. Exhale, fold, relax your head and your neck. Inhale, rise to standing, arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So starting to add Ujjayi to a sun salute creates even a little bit more heat movement. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, navel to spine, slowly find your way down. Halfway lift, breathe in, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, hands down, step back to a high plank or a tabletop. So feel free to keep your knees lifted or drop your knees down. We're gonna lower all the way to our bellies. Chaturanga, exhale, hug your elbows into your ribs. Lower all the way down to the floor. As you inhale, feel free to find your own breath. Lift to a cobra, peel your heart off the ground, shoulders back. As you exhale, lower down, and we'll do that 2 more times. Really press into the tops of your feet. Inhale to lift up. Find the strength of your spinal muscles. Exhale, lower down. So awesome. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Press to child's pose, hips to heels. Knees can be wide or together. Relax your forehead down to the ground or to a block. Send your breath. Visualize your breath moving into your low back so it stretches out. Send your breath into your upper back between your shoulder blades. And pranayama is the 4th limb or 4th layer of yoga. After asana, the physical practice of poses, we start to get into a more meditative state by using this control of breath. So good. Inhale, tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg to the sky for a down dog splits. Exhale, step your foot between your hands for a crescent lunge. Rise as you inhale, arms to the sky. Back knee can always come down. Beautiful. Delphine, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your navel up and in. Protect your low back. Notice what's happening with your hips and where your knee is. Ideally, it stays right above your ankle. Excellent. Yeah, breath is good. So when it starts to get a little challenging, tuning back into your breath helps keep us from getting too lost in our head, wanting to move out of the pose. We'll find one more inhale. Exhale, open out to warrior 2. Left heel pivots down, fingertips stretch forward and back. Peek down at your feet, front heel in line with your back heel or back arch. Front knee bent over your ankle. Notice if it wants to rock in or out, relax your shoulders. And then we'll move with our breath. Inhale, right leg straight, palms together overhead. Exhale, bend right back to warrior 2. 2 more times like that. Take the entire breath to get there. Awesome. One more. Inhale, straighten your right leg, bring your palms together overhead. And then exhale, turn your right toes in slightly, hands to your hips. Take a breath in, puff up your chest. Look up. Exhale, hinge forward, prasarita. Flat back toward the ground. Hands can come to your blocks or all the way down. Still early, so feel free to keep a softness in your knees, a bend in your knees. They don't have to be totally straight. Lift halfway up, breathe in, lengthen your spine a little bit more. Exhale, fold, relax your head and neck. Let's just hold here for a few breaths, feeling where you're tight, where you feel the stretch. And again, directing breath in that space to create more opening. Hands to your hips, rise on an inhale with a flat back. So imagine a reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale. Exhale to a warrior 2. Right toes turn forward. Bend your right knee, fingertips stretch long. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up and back, long through both sides of your waist. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in through your nose. Stick out your tongue, let it out through your mouth. Do that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll do this breath again. That's Simhasana, or like a lion's breath. It helps to release some heat. So good when you're feeling a little bit warm. Take your left leg to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, strong legs. Back knee can come down for a little bit more stability or support. Or feel free to keep it lifted if that feels like a nice challenge. Go through your body. Start at your feet, work your way up. Where can you create more stability in your pose? Where can you create a little bit of sweetness? Relax into it. Find that Ujjayi breath one more time, strong and steady. Another inhale. Exhale to warrior two, right heel pivots down, fingertips stretch forward and back. Notice your feet, deep bend into your left knee. And we'll move the same way we just did. Inhale, left leg straight, palms together overhead. Exhale, right back to your deep bend. 2 more times. Take the entire breath to get to the final destination. 1 more. This time, stand tall, left leg straight, palms together overhead, breathe in. And as you exhale, turn your right heel in, so right toes are pointing out. So both feet are pointing out. How about that? And then we're going to bring hands to our hips and take a little bend into your knees. So a goddess or a horse pose. We're going to practice Kapalabhati. So breath of fire or skull shining breath. Starting with your tongue out, think of a dog panting. So that idea of a forceful exhale and a passive inhale. If it's comfortable, and you don't get too dry, right? You can close your mouth and do a same thing, forceful exhale and a passive inhale, and maybe add some arms. So you're reaching out, exhaling, pulling in. I'm getting warm. What about you? Let's do it for another 5 rounds. Reach your arms to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to your hips. Turn your toes in. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, gently dive forward. Prasarita. Hands toward blocks or toward the ground. Halfway lift. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Relax your head and neck. So that Kapalabhati breath you just did, that skull shining breath or breath of fire, is really nice to build heat. And it's working by activating your diaphragm and kind of pumping it to forcefully press the air out and then passively let the inhale back in. So hopefully this forward bend is cooling you off just a little bit. Let's take an inhale through your nose. Stick out your tongue, exhale through your mouth, release some of your heat. Again, inhale. And exhale. Hands to your hips, inhale, rise with a flat back. Exhale, warrior two, left toes point forward, left knee bends, sit deep. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down toward the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. And lower your knees for child's pose. Hips to heels. Take a moment to reset back to your full, strong Ujjayi, or whatever breath is comfortable or natural. So notice now how you feel, your body, your mind, and what your breath is like. And there may be days where one breath practice, one pranayama makes more sense than others, moments within a flow. Crawl your hands as far as you can to the right in your child's pose. Lean your hips a little bit to your left. So you can find more space in between your ribs and your hips, so lengthening through your waistline. And then all the way in the opposite direction, hands left, hips a little bit right. Breathing into the right side of your body. And back to center. Lift to tabletop, hands and knees. And take 5 rounds of cow and cat on your own. So as you inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly toward the ground, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, press into your hands, tuck your chin. Send the middle part of your back up to the sky. Nice, tailbone under. Just back and forth like that. 4, 3 more. Breath sounds really good. Last 2. And 1. Make your way to downward facing dog. When you finish the 5 rounds, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Right leg to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms to the sky. Exhale, open out to warrior 2, left heel down, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach it up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, high plank upper push up, and hold there. Build a little bit of heat, knees can always come down. Take an inhale, shift slightly forward. Exhale, chaturanga halfway or all the way to the ground. Up dog or cobra, lift your heart. Shoulders move away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips reach high to the sky. Move around in down dog as however feels best for you. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, step between your hands. Crescent lunge, rise up, inhale. Open to warrior 2, exhale. No rush, inhale, reverse warrior, stretch it up and back, long through both sides of your waist. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back to a high plank, upper push up. Hold, knees can always come down for a little bit more support. Shift forward as you breathe in, chaturanga as you breathe out. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. A few breaths in down dog. Child's pose is definitely available and a great option to take. So if your shoulders or wrists are feeling like they need a little break, drop your knees lower down. Yes, nice, Delphine. Continue to breathe. Lower your knees to your mat. And find your blocks. We're going to sit down on our block 1 or 2 in a version of a hero's pose virasana. So feet can spread wide. Sit down on your block, knees together. If you feel pretty open, you can sit all the way down on the ground. Are you guys warm? Yeah, so the breath of fire helped, a little movement helped. We haven't done a ton, about 20 minutes, right? We already feel some warmth in our body. So we're just going to take a moment to start to cool it down and then get into some more passive poses before our final Shavasana. So we'll practice with a little Sitali breath, which is a cooling breath. If you're able to curl your tongue, you're just going to stick it out and imagine you're sucking through a straw, breathing in through your mouth and out through your nose. And if you aren't able to curl your tongue, you can form your mouth into a little O, like you're sucking in through a straw. If you'd rather stay warm, you're welcome to continue breathing naturally. And if this is too weird, don't feel like you have to do it. And do 3 more rounds. Back to a regular breath. We're going to do the full-on lion's pose, lion's breath, Simhasana, since we're in this awesome position. Hands on your thighs, so you can come a little bit forward on your knees. You're going to take a breath in. Kind of lift your chest. As you exhale, stick out your tongue, scrunch up your face, let it all out through your mouth. Look funny, it's all good. 2 more, breathe in. Nice and loud, awesome. 1 more. Cool. Both of those pretty cooling in different ways. A little cooler, maybe. Come back to a regular breath. And slowly find your way to a downward facing dog. Moving gently. Even more mindfully than you were before. Reach your right leg to the sky, take a breath in. Exhale, send your shin forward for pigeon. So right knee toward your right wrist. Leg might be in a 7 or might kind of be with your foot toward your left hip or left thigh. And kind of slide your left leg back so you sink your hips toward the ground. Blocks are awesome here for some support underneath your right butt cheek. Yep, beautiful. Especially we're all a little bit different and imbalanced. Try to draw your left hip forward and then slowly crawl your hands forward to relax and release into this. If you try to tuck your toes under and draw your left hip even more forward. Yeah, is that better? You want to block? And then a few breaths here. So if you find that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath was too warming, see if you find a natural rhythm of breathing through your nose, out through your mouth to be a little bit cooling. Or just not even think about your breath so much. Just let it come in, come out naturally. Just make sure that you're still breathing. Starting to surrender, to release through our hips, low back, glutes. So allow that sense of letting go here. Take a few more rounds of breath. You can walk your hands in, lift your chest. Take your weight toward your right hip and your right hand. So really lean a lot to your right, swing your left leg around, and draw your left knee up toward your chest, your foot outside your right thigh. Yep, feel free to sit on a block. Left hand behind you, reach your right arm to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, twist toward your left. Imagine lengthening through your spine with each inhale and twisting a little deeper around your spine with each exhale without forcing anything. If you've got a lot of weight on your back hand, try to sit up taller so you're light on your back fingertips. And draw your shoulders out of your ears. So good. Gently unwind. Both hands come toward your right. Counter twist. You're welcome to drop your head a little if that feels okay. We're going to swing our left leg back. Find your way to downward facing dog. Step your feet back, lift your hips. Move around here. Notice how your legs may feel a little bit different. Same thing to the other side. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, send your shin forward for pigeon pose. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, a really long name for a nice hip stretch. Block underneath your left butt cheek if that's helpful. Draw your right hip more forward. Both hip bones point forward and then walk forward. Yeah. Relaxing into it. Nice, Audrey. Beautiful. Just going to draw your foot down a little bit. Yeah. Same thing. Breathing. Whatever comes naturally is fine. We're through most of the more active poses. I'm just starting to relax. Balance out left and right. You can notice what this side feels like as compared to the other side without judgment or need to be perfectly balanced all the time. And if you find that you're getting distracted, it is always nice to come back to your breath to keep you centered and present in your body in this moment. Let's take 2 more full breaths. Walk your hands in, lift your chest. Bring your left hand out to the side, lean onto your left hip or butt cheek, and swing your right leg around. Right knee up toward your chest, foot comes outside your left leg. Feel free to sit on your block. Adjust, situate. Right hand behind you, lightly on your mat. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. If it's comfortable, hook your left elbow outside your knee. Tall spine as you inhale. Deeper twist rotation as you exhale. For me, it helps to bend my back arm to kind of draw my shoulder blades in together. You can play with that. Continue to breathe. Gently unwind, bring both hands to your left, tap your forehead down toward the ground, and lift yourself back up. Come back to a seated position, so if you'd like to sit on your blocks, you can do that. Legs can be crossed. You can sit on your feet for more of a hero's pose variation, and then we're gonna play with a little Nadi Shodhana, your alternate nostril breath. I like to use my right hand. So we're gonna think right hand thumb to your right nostril, right hand ring finger to your left nostril, and if you like the visual and sensation of putting your middle finger on your third eye between your eyebrows, you're welcome to do that. So we'll start, eyes closed, open up your left nostril, right thumb on your right nostril, yep, take a breath in. Close and exhale through your right. Inhale through your right nostril. Close, open left, exhale left. Inhale through your left. Close, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Feel free to continue like that, moving as slowly as you like. You're welcome to hold at the top of the inhale or when you're full of breath. And hold at the bottom of your exhale or when you're empty of breath. You might find that one has a tendency to be longer or shorter, your inhale or your exhale, or that it's easier or harder to breathe in or out of each nostril, right versus left. So the idea with Nadi Shodhana is we're balancing our nadis, our energy channels. Right side is a little bit more masculine. Left side is a little bit more feminine. Pingala on the right and Ida on the left. And by switching the inhales and the exhales, you're finding balance between the right and left side, the masculine, feminine, active and passive energies. You can do this for a short amount of time or a little bit longer. And practice building up. So starting small and then adding more time, more length, maybe a longer hold. Just a few more rounds. you haven't yet stopped, the next time you exhale through your left nostril, release your hand to your lap and take a few rounds of breath naturally, hopefully through both sides of your nose. Notice how you feel now, how your energy may have shifted. Where your mind is. And what your body feels like. This is a very calming breath, a balancing breath. So in those days where you feel a little bit crazy or all over the place, this is a nice breath to come back, to balance your energies, chill out a little bit. So with that, we're going to slowly find our way onto our backs. If you're on your feet, swinging them out in front, extend. Lower yourself down. And hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Reach your arms wide in a T and take a spinal twist. Both knees fall to your right. If you like to take any kind of crossing or variations in your twist, feel free. If it's okay on your neck, you can look to your left hand. Draw your knees up and over to the other side. Gentle twist in the opposite direction. Same thing, head can look right. Bring it back to center. Happy baby, knees hugging toward your armpits, soles of your feet toward the sky. You can hold behind your knees, inside or outside of your feet. Imagine lengthening your back, your tailbone down. And any movements, rocking side to side, feel nice, or stretching one leg and then the other straight. Check in with what your breath is like now. And probably stop that control of your breath. Seems a little bit calm and relaxed. And then notice if there's any other poses that your body really is asking for, is craving before we take Savasana, or final relaxation. And take those stretches, those poses. Doesn't have to be a yoga thing. Always honoring what your body needs more than what your ego wants. If you do something on one side, even out and do it on the other. And as you feel ready for Shavasana, allow your body to really relax. Snuggle your shoulders down your back a little bit more. Let go of any last control. Physical, mental, breath-wise. Would you like another one? Give yourself permission to just be. stay here a little bit longer. If you're ready to begin to move again, first invite a deeper breath back into your body. And gently find some wiggles, fingers, toes. You roll your wrists and roll your ankles. And stretch your arms over your head, get long. And mindfully find your way onto your right side and toward a fetal position, knees bent. With your eyes closed, carefully find your way back toward a seat. On your block, on your butt, on your feet. Whatever works for you. Notice how you feel now. How even in that short amount of time, about 40 minutes, we were able to go through a few different types of pranayama breathing exercises, control of life force. Starting with that wave breath, calming, evening out deep full breaths, moving into Ujjayi victorious breath, how that heats and kind of evens out your breath. Kapalabhati, skull shining, breath of fire, building even more heat, a little bit more active. And then to Simhasana and Sitali, our cooling breaths to release some of the heat we built. Let go of stress and tension. And finally to Nadi, Shodhana, balancing out right and left. Active and passive energies. So you may find one that you really liked, one that you might use again in your daily life or in your yoga practice. You probably even notice when you're stressed out, you do a big breath in and a big breath out, how just that simple action allows you to become a little bit more centered, kind of brings you back into the moment and calms you down. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Lift your thumbs between your third eye and bow your head. Namaste. All right. You guys feel good? Awesome. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you've ever considered doing a yoga teacher training, want to go on a really fun yoga retreat, or simply want to deepen your practice, check out the website for all of our upcoming events and send me an email for more information.